Welcome to PJNet Live, and this is a very moment that has been anticipated for some time, and I want to introduce to you someone who you're going to be seeing and hearing more of in the future. Gina Hood is with us on Skype that she just installed today. Gina, I don't know where to start. I just really feel the hand of God moving, but tell us a little bit about your blogging. And then we'll just get into where the future is leading us.
Okay. In 2014, in May or June, I began to feel led by God to start a blog. It wasn't something I wanted to do necessarily. I had felt convicted about being in a leadership role with some young people, and in teaching them to have a daily time with God and the scriptures. I was convicted because I wasn't doing that myself, and I knew that was something I needed to change. A lot of years where I didn't do that, and it just began to bother me. So God seemed to lay on my heart, well, if you'll blog about what you get from the scriptures each day, then that will help keep you in the habit of getting in the scriptures each day. So that's sort of how it all started, really. And that, I believe my first post was in late May, maybe early June of 2014. And God's just been faithful. He just fills my spirit, and I just blog about what he gives me.
Well, and your blogging, you've got some 500 entries. I must confess I haven't read all of them. Later on, I hope that you will put the link to your blog in our chat room. Gina has, and it's kind of weird because, as many of you know, we're now capable of doing some live streaming. And one of the things I wanted to do is reach out to bloggers, but not just any blogger. We need bloggers that are consistent, okay, because blogging is an effort. Gina, a typical blog post, how much time goes into just a single blog post on average?
It really just depends. Honestly, there's some days when it just flows out of me like water, and then there are others when I'm just struggling. I read a passage and I think, what in the world can I say about this? You know, what does the Holy Spirit want me to put down about this? And I just have to say, God, you've got to speak, because I don't have anything. I got nothing, you know. And so it really depends. And then there are times when it just goes quickly, and there are other times when it's like peeling an onion, and the deeper I dig, the longer it takes. So today's, for example, just kind of flew out, and it took about an hour. Mm-hmm. But it almost always takes about an hour, and sometimes as much as 2 or 2.5.
Okay. So, 500 blog posts, do the math, folks. That's quite a commitment. And, as we're trying to gain some traction on live programming, I'm looking for bloggers that one, have a consistent message, a theme that is consistent with our conservative and evangelical point of view. It has something to offer, but there's plenty of bloggers out there that blog irregularly, inconsistently. It's pretty good stuff, but if we're going to do programming, I'm looking for something that's a little bit more regular. So here's what's coming down. Now, this is not public and won't be public for some time, so we're sharing it with you. We're not asking you to go put it on Facebook and Twitter and all that, but what's going to happen is the morning hours. If you come to this venue, we want to have some fresh live programming. Okay, now fresh and or live. It will always be fresh. It will sometimes be live. We hope to get as much live content as possible, but given our pay scale that we've set up, we may have to have some stuff recorded the day before, but it will be fresh. And many of you have noticed that during the day now, what we're doing is all of the live segments that we have during our hashtag rallies. After the rally, I put those together, produce them, and then incorporate them into a playlist. Gina, it's clearly you are a woman directed by God, and it's really quite amazing because we've not known each other very long, and when I approach people, I'm kind of I do the recon, but you've done some recon too. So share with everybody what your impression thus far of the team and how you're going to fit in with more of an evangelical model. Just tell us how you feel.
Well, just to back up a little bit, I've been doing the blog now for almost 2 years, and my typical procedure is that after doing it, I post it to Facebook and I tag it to a few entities that I know, my home church and the youth that I work with and so forth, the ministries my church supports, etc. And then I post it to Twitter, and each day I just go through my Twitter followers, and as the Spirit leads, just select some of them to tag in the tweet. And a lot of times that results in hits to the blog. But I was asking God to give me just additional opportunity to be used by Him to spread the gospel, to expand the kingdom. Most of the time my posts are to believers, but depending on the passage, the verse, sometimes and a lot of time they're to unbelievers as well. And most of the time the blog content is it's just commenting on the scriptures, exegetical, I believe is the theological term.
Exegesic, something like that.
If you want a $10 word.
The hermeneutics are very important in the predispensationalism and stuff,
Right.
Premillennial dispensationalism.
Got to be straight there, but it's not. When you go check it out, you're not going to find anything terribly poetic. It's just sort of straight up and down. Here you are. I mean, this is what the scriptures are saying to me. So I was asking God for that, and not really. I mean, I honestly didn't understand why He wanted me to do it in the first place. I mean, I was like, really? Make a blog? Do a blog? I don't know anything about it. But at any rate, I was telling Mark today that last week I was talking to a friend of mine, and her daughter has started making some YouTube videos, and I said to my friend, I said, I think that's so wonderful that she's doing that. I could never do that. There's just... And doesn't God have a sense of humor? Because about 2 days later, Mark contacted me and said, I'd like to talk to you about something having to do with ministry. And, well, that caught my interest, So we started corresponding, and what Mark just described to you is sort of the outworkings of that. And I'm really excited about it. Not because I really love being on camera, but if it is something that's going to grow this ministry, this Resplendent Daughter ministry, and I'll put the link in the chat room after this video interview is over. But if it's something that can help spread the gospel or expand Christ's kingdom, I just want to be all over that.
Well, and it's kind of funny because there's always a little bit of cat and mouse, because we literally had not met a week ago.
Right, and you have to be discerning. You have to be you have to kind of poke around and look around and do your homework. And it's so crazy. I had been on Twitter putting PJNet hashtags in some of my tweets, or retweeting things that members of PJNet had tweeted, not really even knowing what PJNet was. So when Mark contacted me, I went in and looked in on a chat, and I was you asked me what I thought about the folks who are here at PJNet, and I've just been impressed that folks that are here are just kind of like me, just regular, ordinary people that are very burdened about America and where our country's headed, and what is going on with the church and what's not going on, and just wanting to make a difference.
Well, Gina, one of the things that it really delighted me is you did, in a very mature and discerning fashion, challenged me on some things, and you did your recon, and then you shared that you were also seeking the counsel of others, because one of the things that we do here, I have a tweet that says if it has to be done in secret, it probably shouldn't be done at all. Right. And the things that we do here at PJNet, we do in a transparent way. The hashtag graphing, and listen, if we have a bad day, I don't, that's right there for the whole world to see. There's nowhere to hide. We don't have some secret, here, let me go check with it so I can fix it. And if there's not many people in the chat room, well, it'll show. So there's a certain amount of transparency, but you went and actually circled up your wagons and talked to some of your spiritual advisors, and share with us what you told them and what they had to say.
Sure. Actually, the first person that I mentioned this to is a lady that I served with in our local ministry. We minister to college students, and I was getting together with her to promote a girls' conference, which is taking place at our church in March. We were doing some canvassing electronically to promote that, and I just felt led to run it past her. But the second person that I was led to talk to is a lady that I had heard was in ministry, but I never really, other than just seeing her in passing and seeing her on Facebook, we've really not had a conversation. But God just seemed to be saying, reach out to her and ask her what she thinks about all this. And so I did, and went over to her house, and we talked and prayed together, and she was very supportive. Talked to a cousin of mine who has a radio station. His family has a radio station, a small local radio station in a rural town. Just talked to a handful of people that I trust and that I believe have knowledge of this sort of thing, because it's a real step of faith for me. I've never done anything like this. And so I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't some crazy business. But in doing my digging, not only talking to trusted advisors, I looked at the history of PJNet, and I looked into things that you'd been involved with in the past, and based on that and our conversations, I feel that God is in this and that I want to be a part of it.
Well, Gina, I'm looking very forward to it, and we'll have time, of course, in the days and weeks ahead. But folks, Gina Hood is there, and she is in our chat room. She'll be posting the link to her blog. I did some recon on her too, and I can unqualifiedly recommend that you follow her, that you go to her blog and read her blog. And I encourage all of you to tune in to this venue during the early morning hours. We don't know the exact start date yet. We'll be basically practicing and rehearsing this month. We may be able to launch. It's probably going to be mid-March. We don't even have a name for it yet. But what we want to do is put the spotlight on, ordinary individuals, disciples, citizens, and give them a voice, give them a platform, and give them some support. So that those people that are out there working, I see too many people working hard on blogs that aren't getting the attention they deserve. I see people working on videos, YouTube videos, that don't get the attention that they deserve, tweeting into thin air, forming new Facebook groups, and we're a lot of activity. It's kind of like McDonald's. You got these lines that aren't moving, but the kitchen looks busy. They're working hard. And so, we want to put we see the hustle. We want to put the PJNet muscle, behind that hustle, and put these people in front and grow them. and grow them and grow their influence, because we're trying to reach people. We're trying to effect a change here. And it's very good to encounter somebody like Gina, because many of the people that get involved in this kind of thing, well, you've got to have some ego to do this, okay? But that's a poison that can really, it's toxic, because it can go to your head. And I think that Gina will be a very good disciple and a very good accountability partner to keep me in check, as I do with all of you. And I appreciate, your fellowship. And so tune in during the day. It is changing, it is mutating, it is evolving, but it is doing it in a way that's stepping forward, in a way that we have envisioned. I have shared with you in the past, that someday we're going to be able to do this. Well, that day is now upon us, way ahead of schedule. Gina, thank you. Thank you for stepping up, and thank you for installing Skype successfully. And it looks like it's working well, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the days and weeks ahead.
Thank you, Mark. I look forward to it too.
All right. Thank you.